On my window, it says meeting is now streaming live on YouTube.
All right. Okay. Yep. I see me. Gonna switch back to Zoom. Got it. All right, guys. Welcome everyone. I'm not sure. I think I recognize all the names of everyone has been here before. Welcome, guys. I spotlighted. Guys, if you have a lot of background noise, like a TV or anything in the background, please be courteous to mute. It sounds really rough for us on the other end, and you might not, it doesn't sound like much on your end, but on our end, it sounds really rough. Welcome everyone. I'm Ronita. I'm a Purposeful Point, and I teach paint parties. I'm mobile, so I come to you with everything to paint, except for online, Zoom, of course. And our group.
It says meeting is now streaming live on YouTube.
Perfect. So right. If you want to watch a replay, you guys can go there and watch it. Okay, so we're gonna. I'm sorry. Is there someone? All right, guys. Welcome everyone. I'm not sure. I think I recognize.
Got a leg, a really long leg.
All the names. Yeah, there's a delay on welcome. So if you have to mute the YouTube one, it's a delay on YouTube. Guys, I spotlighted. Guys, if you have a lot of background noise, like a TV or anything in the back.
That's your YouTube, yeah.
Oops. All right, I think we're ready now. I'm going to grab my largest brush. I'm not sure what yours is, but I'm grabbing my largest brush. Usually what you get in the store is going to be a 1/2 inch to a 3/4 or something like that brush. I like to use a flat brush because it covers more area, and that's what I'm all about, covering a larger area faster. All right, and I do like to wet my brush a little bit because it helps to move the paint along the canvas. And that's what I'm going to do now. You guys are welcome to use any surface that you like. I am using an 11 by 14 canvas board. It's supposed to be like the canvas material, but it's a board instead of a canvas because I'm out of room because I have ridiculous amounts of everything here in my house. And I'm going to start with my white. And I don't know if you guys notice that if you see my background, I kind of did a circular motion type thing with that. And no reason, just to give it a little texture, a little pizzazz. I'm going to do the same thing with this one. We're going to be going in a circle, and I've added the white. And I'm going to dip a corner of my brush because I want to start out small, just grab a little bit at a time. And then if I want it to be darker, then I'll add more. So I put a corner of paint to start out on the corner of my brush to see if that's enough and see if I like that. So we have that. You can see that it's on there. Dip some more white, come back on top. Now see, that's how I'm blending it. Instead of mixing it in on my tray, I'm mixing it right here on the canvas. And the reason I do that is I like the variations that it gives. Like some of it's a little bit darker, some of it's a little bit lighter. I like that. I enjoy that. That's what I want in my painting. And so that's why I like to do it on the canvas. And I'm going to bring that all the way to the edge of my painting, just painting in circles until I cover it all the way to my edges. Now, this is the way I choose to do my background. You guys are more than welcome to do it a different way. I want it to be your painting. So I got my white down. So now I want to blend in a little bit of black. So I'm going to dip the corner of my brush in my black paint. Only because I want it to a little bit at a time. If you guys want more, go more. So bring it all the way around into the white paint that I already had. And if I want to lighten that up, I'm going to go grab my white paint and come on top of that if I don't want it to be too dark. If my paint is not spreading the way I want to, you guys can't really see it on my canvas, but it's kind of spotty. The paint is not going down into the groove of the canvas. So I'm going to wet my brush a little bit. And then I take my paper towel, and I'm not going to dry my brush off, but I'm going to touch it to the paper towel. I don't want it to be soaking wet where it drips down my painting, but I still want it to be moist. And so now the little grooves in my canvas the paint is going down into those grooves because the paint is more fluid. So I want to put a little bit black up here. And it doesn't have to be perfectly symmetrical, guys. It's just, I'm just trying to get my canvas covered. I did flip mine up so that I can get to it a little bit better. Get to the bottom rather. Are you guys almost done with your Christmas shopping?
That's funny.
I know, right? I haven't even started. I'm a terrible mother.
That was silence for sure. Nobody wanted to say anything. I don't have much to do, especially because of my situation with breaking my leg this year. Everyone really understands, but I feel bad because last year I gave them some really fun gifts to the nephews and nieces though, but they'll understand and I'll make up for it next year. And money's always appreciated by them.
Right, absolutely. My oldest son, on his Christmas list this year, he put money. That's new. That's a new item. Now
it won't be the last time that's on the list though.
Well, he's 17. I'm pretty sure the next year's list probably won't be but money. So you guys have noticed that my background is a little bit lighter than it was with my ornaments. So that's entirely up to you if you want to go darker. Actually, I did that painting. It's from last year. So I'm not quite sure about all of my steps on that one. So after I get that background, I'm going to let it dry. I'm going to give it about 5 minutes to dry. So when you guys do finish with your background, you guys got to resist the urge to do what? Swipe. Stop the swiping. Stop the swiping.
Of course, what I was just doing.
So I could tell, I could see all the faces. They guilty. So while this dries, the way that my ornaments, they don't have to be perfectly round, but I'm going to tell you my secret. You guys, I believe in using any and everything in art. So whatever it takes, there's no cheats or shortcuts. Art is art. So this is the secret to my round ornaments. Okay. Okay, can you see that? Perfect circles. That's how I got my round ornaments. A cup. So anything, and then the smaller ones, I use some of these. If you don't have them, that's fine. Just you can paint your circles on there. And again, some people are really good at circles, so they can be as whatever shape that you'd like. But this is also one of my secrets. I did some of these in the background with this dauber. Okay. I was painting flat, so I used bottle caps, just anything round when I wanted to go different sizes. And that's how I got my different sizes, is I found things that were round. So you can do that now. You can put your paintbrush down, stop swiping, and look around and see if you see anything that's round that you can use to get your to give you round surfaces.
So because I can't do a circle to save my life, I have this container and it's full of all kinds of different like circles that I've gotten from different places. I'm a bartender, so a lot of liquor bottle caps here. And I just have this, and coffee can cap, anything like this that I've found over time. And of course, instead of throwing it out, I collect it.
Perfect.
But now I have it, and I'm just kind of looking for the right shape or the right size.
It was like you knew you were going to need this.
Oh, believe me, my boyfriend just walked through here and said, "You've got to clean this up." And this happened to be on top. So it's a miracle I have it on top.
So it's perfect. Suzanne's not here. I'm surprised. Okay, just a couple more minutes to let this, it's not going to completely dry, but at least give us a surface dry so that we can start adding. I'm looking at mine at an angle to see if it's dry. Yeah, it's not dry, but just we want to get it enough, the surface dry, so that we can paint our ornaments on there. I think it was Rochelle who asked me about giving that glossy look. If you have Mod Podge, that would be a perfect way to get that glossy look. Mod Podge. Which I do have. I'm not going to use it. I haven't decided what color my bulbs are going to be. I do like this really pale green. So maybe I'll have them all in my pale green. We'll see how it looks.
So are you using the green and then are you going to put the gold on top of that, or you're just not going to do gold at all this time?
I'm just going to do green instead of gold.
Okay, so they won't be as shiny then?
No, they won't be shiny because it's not a metallic paint. I do have green metallic paint. I have metallic paint in every color.
Wow.
But I'm just going to go with this green. And then later, after it dries, since I talked about it, I want to see what it looks like. And I'm going to put Mod Podge only on the bulbs to see what that looks like. I think that'll be really neat.
Okay.
I won't put it on here with you guys because I need the paint to be dry when I do that. So I'll send it out in email if you guys are on my email list. If you're not on my email list, put your email in the comments and I'll grab it and add it to my email list. Okay, Misty, I have you. You love metallics. I do too. That's why I have them in every well, I won't say every color. I have them in a lot of colors. I'm looking over at my shelf. I know of course I have gold, I have red, green, pink. I have like a black metallic kind of color. And wow, I have a lot of, I like metallic. I like to put them in my pour paintings and watch it shimmer. So I am opening up a Excel file so that I can grab those emails and put them in. Or I could just use this list and just highlight the emails. Duh. Make my life a little easier. I have Misty. Oh, no, that's not the same one. I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. All right, I hope you guys are letting your letting it dry so that we can jump in. I just have one more email to grab, and then I will start adding my circles. And you guys, I mean, like I said, you can freestyle it or grab something that'll help you get that in there. So that's what I'm going to do. And you can use pencil, paintbrush, just whatever you'd like to use. So where am I going to put? I'm going to put one here. And grab the paintbrush. I'm going to just use, I'm just going to do an outline with my white paint to get my, where I want my circles. Oh, of course, normally I would be doing this flat. And then I don't have to like have a complete circle all the way around, as long as I get enough to see where my circles are. You choose what size you want them to be and how many you want. That's up to you as well. So today you get to choose your colors and how many ornaments you want on yours. My cup keeps moving, so I'm gonna have to freestyle that one. What's my next size? Decision. I am kind of looking at where my strings are and deciding where to put my, like this one is like almost, I am doing that as well to decide about where I'm going to put my ornaments. So I'm conscious of that. Right, that cup's nice and sticky. So now I'm ready to start painting in my ornaments. And like I said, I am using green.
So I'm going to use a metallic paint. Will you be using kind of like the same technique on these that you did on the metallic ones to make it look like that?
Yes, you can. Now, the metallic paint, you might have to put more than one layer of paint. It just depends on the brand. A lot of it's kind of thin.
Okay.
Now, Deco Art, they do make a really nice metallic gold paint that spreads on pretty heavy and looks pretty good. So
yeah, mine is in a tube rather than the bottle. It's a little bit thicker than, say, like the Artist Loft Michael's one that I have.
Okay, right. So you have a high brand, but in that tube, it's a little bit more, costs more, so you should be better about coverage.
And
you
still
don't have to
cheap
worry
enough,
about
but it's still cheap, but it's thicker.
It might be better. So I'm just going to go ahead and start painting my my ornaments. And I'm not sure about this paint. It might be thin. I might have to put another layer. I know my brush is doing a horrible job. I'm using the bigger ones. I am using my larger flat brush, and I'll go to a smaller flat brush when I go to the ones that I do have some that are a little bit smaller. You know, I might not be able to see it on my in the camera, but I do have some that are smaller. And then if you want to freestyle, that is also an option as well. I'm just going to fill mine in. Now I'm going to add some highlights and shadows, but I'm going to go ahead and paint it all green first, because when I use my shadow, I'm going to use a darker color to add shadow and a lighter color to add highlights. And I don't want to change. I want them all to be the same shade. So if I start to put the shadows in one and I'm using a darker color and I don't rinse my brush out, then I'm going to make that next ornament, it's going to be darker. So I want them to be the same. Unless, you know, that's an option for you, but that's what happens. So I'm going to paint them all the same shade and then go back and do my shadows all at the same time for each bulb individually, or ornament bulb. Now, since I used white to outline, I'm going to try to make sure I cover up those white lines. All right. So quiet. I went into my zone. I went far, far away. I'm back. So I'm just filling in my each ornament. I only have 5 on mine. And like I said, when my placement, I was kind of conscious of where I placed them so that when I put now one of them is going to be really, really close. It's going to be a little crooked. When I put my string that I have attached to my ornament, it won't have to be over any of my ornaments. But I mean, if it is, it's fine as well. So you guys always keep in mind that we are painting abstract art, and abstract art is whatever you like it to be. Or should I say, I am painting abstract art. Yours is fine art. That's your choice. And now I am mines are dry enough for me to put a little bit of a second coat. It depends on your paint color. Liz, how did that gold come out on yours?
I am still painting, but this is so far, I'm using a bronze metallic, and this is how it looks so far.
Okay.
And
It
so I
looks
just have
good.
to that other one, and then I'm gonna go from there. Look, I probably could use a second coat, I'm thinking.
Mhm.
But I'm just thinking, what am I gonna use for the highlights and the shadow for a color?
Of course, your highlight is going to be automatic white. But for me, for my, you can also use black, but you have to be super careful with the black. So I'm using green. So I could use a dark green, or I could use a blue. I would say I'll probably use a blue to give it my highlights. That way I'm not using the black and then the black overtaking my painting.
So because this is bronze, could I use like a brown color?
It depends on how dark it is, because we want something that's darker.
Yeah, I think I definitely have one, because the bronze is actually a little bit kind of, it's almost like a metallic brick color, maybe not quite that red, but I think I can get something rather than the black. I mean, I'll try it on one and see.
I mean, in black is okay. You just have to make sure that you use it in moderation without, because it can get away from you.
Yeah.
And then my blue is not very dark. So let me grab a dark green. I'm going to try both to see. I have the blue. So normally, if I had like a regular green, then the blue would be great. But with the lighter green, I'm not sure. So we are going to experiment together. And then, like, I'm sure no one else picked this lime green. Okay, so I'm going to take the corner. I'm scared of the blue. I'm not going to use blue on my green. I'm just going to use this darker green. I'm going to, like, just like I did with the black, dip the corner of my brush in the green. And we're just going to, like, kind of come. I'm going to say that my light is going to come from this way on my painting. You guys might be like opposite of me. You decide which side's going to be your light. The light is coming in from this side. So with the light coming from this side, my shadow is going to be on this side. So I'm going to take that green and take this on the side and kind of towards the bottom. Guys, can I see that I did that? And blend in that green, the darker green for me. Yes, can you guys see that? It almost looks blue in the camera. And I'm going to do the same for the other ones as well. Probably using too big of a brush.
What color did you use with your metallic gold as the low light?
The low light, it was black.
Okay.
But I put that black on, and then I came back on top with gold, and so the gold was able to cover it up. So you can add you have your layer of gold, put your black on there, and then we'll put our white on there, and then when it dries, and it doesn't have to dry completely because we're not going to be blending the gold. You're just going to put the gold on top. And because it's such a translucent color, the dark should still show through and the light should still show through the gold and still show those variations of the light and the dark. So you guys remember to not judge your painting until you're done, because right now mine looks like the solar system. And we both know that when after we put the top of the ornament on there and the string and all that good stuff, it won't look like the solar system anymore. What's outside? Sorry about that. That was one of my boys. Look at that. I dipped that right in that black paint. Oops. Paper towel. That one will be a little bit darker because I dipped my brush in black paint by mistake instead of my dark green. So if I was trying to add shadows to like a red ornament, I would definitely use the blue, because you know there's blue and red, and you're just. Now I have my shadows on there, and for my highlights I'm going to use white, and I'm going to go the opposite of where I put my darker and add the white in.
What would be my low light and highlight for dark metallic blue?
Dark metallic, your dark is gonna be black, and we're gonna use white for all of our highlights.
Okay, and with the gold?
Even with the gold.
Gold is black as well?
That's what I use. Let me see. You can see what the blue looks like underneath. But on mine's, I used black,
Okay.
but you can see what a blue looks like underneath. So with my highlights, I took my white paint and now my the thickness of my white is a little bit more. My shadow was a little bit thinner. You guys can see it's a little bit thinner around the bottom, but with that white for my highlight, I went a little bit heavier and you can see that my stroke is wider. It was a little bit thinner with the shadows, and you can see that I went a little bit wider with the white. And I put that white on each one.
Why
Is
is that, Renita? Why did you go wider?
Because if you look at it, it just, you can see that it gives it more depth. You see
Right.
that now it looks more round.
Uh-huh. Thank you.
Yeah, and it just looks like if you look at an ornament, you can just see that the light is more prominent than a shadow area on it. Now, after I put that white on there, and you guys can see it's not like a stark white. I did go back over my white with my base color, which is my light green. So it's not as prominent, but you can see that it is lighter than the rest of the ornament. It's lighter in that area. So that's what I did. And then also, after I did that, when my brush still has, you know, some white and light green in it, I put a little bit, I'm gonna get in close. I didn't add any extra white to my brush. It was already in there. You can see where I put a little here. The opposite of where I put the white. I didn't completely cover it. It's just a small little stroke here, here. The opposite of the white there. Oh, that one's too low. You can't see that. And if you just look at it, when you do that, it's all that I've done is to give it more depth. It makes it, makes it 2D. It brings it off the canvas a little bit. You guys see that? And that, I'm excited about it. And it didn't even have to be metallic. It still looks festive. Now, again, I do have some, you can see in the background that I have. This one, I have some that when I used this, the round sponge that we use, if you have this, if you did the fall berries with me, you may still have one of these. And actually, when these come in a pack, they come in multiple sizes. So you may have, if you did buy the pack, well, it depends on where you bought it. Some places it just has 3 of the same. Some of them, I ordered mine off of Amazon. I ordered multiple ones so that like when I'm teaching a class, I'll have multiple ones. So it had different sizes. So you can see that I have some that are smaller. And I just kind of use different sizes of these. I'm going to add a few. I'm probably going to stick to the same size though. Now, actually, what I need to do is go ahead and, before I put those circles in the background, I'm going to add, let me make sure you guys caught up with me. You've already put your painted in, you put your shadow and your highlights on your bulbs. I'm going to put the tops, I don't know what those are called, but the top of my ornament. See, those are the top of my ornament. You can use, if you didn't use the metallic for your ornaments, you can use metallic. I'm going to use black. You can use, if you have a metallic silver, that would be really, well, depends on what you use. Metallic silver would look really pretty on mine, but I'm not going to use it because the metallic that I have is really thin and it will just look gray and just kind of match my background. So I'm going to use black. And I'm going to center it just right across the top. I'm still using a flat brush. I did a little smaller flat brush, but you can also still use a pointer brush to get the effect that you want. And I am just right there at the top. Can see that? Just right there at the top. You can make that taller, shorter. It looks kind of awkward for me, so I'm going to make it a little bit taller. And I'm going to put that on each one of mine. And this one, since it's smaller, I might not have to use it. It might not have to be as tall. Just basically like 1 or 2 strokes. 1 stroke, and then just to make it a little bit taller, I brought it up some. There's the caps on all my ornaments. Just 1 small stroke. Now, after I add those, I'm going to add the way I made my strings, or whatever you want to call it, the way I have them connected. You can see that I took the butt of my brush and dipped it in my black and then made my circles, and I made dots on up in a straight line. Well, almost straight. You can see that they did kind of waver a little. They did float a little bit, but let's see. Let's start at this one. All right, can you see that? And then I'm just going to go to the next one. Like I said, this one, I didn't plan that one very well, but now I'll bring it up. I could go over top of the ornament that's in the way, but I'm actually just going to go around it. I'm going to get really close to it. I'm just going to go around it. I'm okay if my string is crooked as it goes around. Okay. So now I'm really loving this dark contrast against this bright green. So I like that. I like that. So I'm just going to make sure I'm going to my next bowl. Just go ahead and make sure you just have a string. And this is my design of a string. If you thought something that was neater, like a crisscross, a hash, whatever, that you think is cute, I love to see it. Tomorrow's the last day of school. I didn't even realize. Oh my goodness, Christmas just snuck up on me. My mother-in-law is turning 80, and we're going to celebrate her. Going to a birthday party for her this weekend. She normally comes up for Thanksgiving, but she didn't. She's getting ready for her big birthday party. Her birthday is actually December 26th.
Where does she live?
Oh, she's in Tennessee.
Where in Tennessee?
West Tennessee.
Uh-huh.
It's called Gates. I'm sure you've not heard of it.
We lived in Memphis, and I'm from Knoxville, so
Okay, well, it's like 45 minutes outside of Memphis.
cool. It's a long drive, isn't it?
Yes, it's a long drive.
So how many grandchildren does she have? 80th birthday.
She's got my 2 boys, and then I have a stepson, so she has 3 grandchildren.
Wonderful.
My husband's the only child.
Oh, he's special.
Yes, he is. Yes, yes.
I hope you told him that all these years.
I know some people are more comfortable with using the tip of your brush for your dots. That's fine too. I like the brush because it gives it more of a uniformity to my circles. Now I'm going to let that dry because we're going to add a little bit of white to those. So while that dries, that's why I stopped myself with the circles in the background. Now I'm going to take my sponge and add a few circles in the background. Now, if you can see that my example, all of my circles did not get, only my larger ornaments got the string. So I'm going to put some of these kind of floating in the background. And I'm going to use my sponge. When I, just like we did the berries, I put it on there and I twisted just a little bit because it gives it great coverage when you do that. And then you just decide how many you want. I'm not going to go crazy, much as I would like to. Thought I had a smaller one, but I don't. I don't know how I made those smaller circles. I did have one smaller. It looks like I did use a sponge, but I don't know where I did with it. I don't know where it could be. That was the smallest one that I have. Do have a Q-tip. Don't really like that. Okay, you guys can see you have that on there, your dots, your circles rather. I'm going to go to my white paint. You're not going to be able to see my example. I'm going to my white paint and I'm going back to that same smaller brush that I used to paint the tops of my ornaments, and I'm going to use white. And the same side that I have considered my highlight on, I'm going to paint a white on each tip on that side. Just that one side. Can you see that? I didn't cover the whole area, just that one side. And it does not have to be like I covered it completely opaque, so you can see the paint starts to thin a little bit. But I just want to give that, by adding that, it gives it that 2D effect is what I'm going for. And I add that little bit of white on each one. Just a little bit on one side, the side where I consider is the highlighted side, the lighter side. So now I'm also dipping my brush, the butt of my brush, into the white paint now. And I'm going to go over top of each dot with that white paint. I'm not gonna, I'm a little off center because I don't want to completely cover it. I'm gonna get in a little bit closer. You can see the ones that I've already done. You guys see that I am adding the white dot, but I'm not completely covering the black one. Well, some of them are a little bit smaller than the others, so it might cover a lot of it, but you can see the effect that it's giving, so it's kind of fun. Why am I doing that? I know that's what you're thinking, Mary. I don't know why, but I thought it looked cute.
Mm. Mhm. Hmm. Hmm.
Well, I might not have made so many dots for the string if I had known we were going to go back over for them all like that. Would have made them bigger and further apart. Oh, but it came out well, so happy with it.
All right, so are we ready to start sharing? I'm going to end the YouTube.